shakalaka, Cardano pump to $15 plus Bitcoin crash to $17,000, or is $170,000 more likely? Stay tuned. What's up everyone, Randall here from Crypto Love. Today's video, we're talking about Cardano. We are talking about Bitcoin. Before we do, guys, make sure to like, subscribe, click the notification bell. Also, come join us over on Twitter at @TheCryptoLove. And today's episode is sponsored by Cirus Foundation, so stay tuned till the end for a review. Now, Cardano today. Potentially a handle followed by a rally to $10 to $15. This is by Trading Shot, one of my favorite traders over on TradingView. He says, hey, if we take a look at this, it looks like we could be heading for another parabolic rally for Cardano up to potentially $15 plus. So he says, compare this back with what happened towards September, November of 2020. We had a high at the 1 fib, we had a cup and handle pattern, and there was a squeeze of the one-day MA50 and MA200 before a parabolic rally up, and this went up to the 1.5 fib. Now, we are seeing the same exact pattern playing out right now, where we have a cup and handle pattern, we have a squeezing of the one-day MA50 and the MA200 squeeze, potentially before a parabolic rally up to maybe 1.5 fib, something like that. Could be anywhere between $10 and $15. Also, there is this downtrend of the RSI right before it takes off, so potentially we might be seeing an absolute blast off of Cardano's price. Not only that, but Magic Poop Cannon is saying, hey, Bitcoin set to fall 67%. Yikes. Now, generally, I'm not too big a fan of Magic Poop Cannon because he doesn't predict things that well, but we'll kind of have to see because, you know, Bitcoin was rejected again from $50,000. So maybe if it is rejected, it could head down because he says, hey, if we take a look, basically, anytime Bitcoin falls to this Gaussian ribbon here, anytime it falls and touches, like it happened in 2011, it falls another 67%. Happened there, okay? Now it goes up. Now back in 2013, it didn't actually fall to the Gaussian ribbon. It actually fell and then came back up, but then once it fell to the ribbon, eventually it dropped by 67%. Now, we had the same thing in 2017, touched the ribbon and then fell 67%. Well, as we can see here, it went up. It touched the ribbon. Now, potentially, if we're not able to break through $50,000, we could fall 67% all the way down to $17,000. Could this happen? Yes. Is it likely? Maybe not. And here is why. You see, guys, exchange flows are back in accumulation. Negative 17,000 Bitcoin in the last week. Negative 124,000 Bitcoin in the last month. Bitcoin price generally seems to follow supply and demand. You see, it appears like ever since they've analyzed older coin spreading patterns after 2017, they wanted to visualize Bitcoin hodler behavior in a new way, so they combined Woonomics and William Clementilli's liquid supply shock with something similar to Checkmate's MR gradient oscillator. Come look. This is by TXMC. Now, if we take a look here, okay, the illiquid supply is in purple. So, as you can see, we have kind of like the same type of cup and handle we saw right here. We have the same type of thing happening on the supply shock right now. As a matter of fact, it's almost a perfect cup and handle. But, not only that, you can see that generally the red areas we see a peak, the green areas is a great buy opportunity, right? Well, the green areas compare with this red right here on top, and the peaks compare with this blue down on the bottom right here. So it turns out that based on that, right now would seem like a very good buy opportunity. It would seem like it. It may be, may not be, but we have more evidence because it's always good to look at a whole bunch of stuff. So this wave of Bitcoin supply shock has the most momentum of any in recent history. We're going much higher over the coming months. And as you can see, every time the supply shock increases, price goes up exponentially. Supply shock increases, price goes up exponentially. Supply shock increases, price goes up exponentially. Supply shock increases, potentially we might be seeing more price movement. Because, now this is speculation, I don't know if this is true, but a lot of large and important institutions bought Bitcoin over the summer. They will announce their purchases between September 7th and November 19th. Enjoy the fireworks. There is Rocktober, traditional markets. So sell in May and go away, and then come back for Rocktober. A lot of institutions could be talking about it come November, because that's when they want to pump. They want to sell in December and then have a happy new year. So that leaves us to what's going on with Bitcoin in the short term. Well, as you can see here by the Bitcoin Rainbow Spider Lines price chart, this is just using this fulcrum back in 2019 to plot out a whole bunch of lines based on big areas of price movement, price inflection. Well, if we take a look, it's been a pretty good indicator. See, top, bottom, top, bottom, bottom, top. And right now, we are fighting with this green spider line right around $50,000. Now, one thing that I do want to mention is what was previous support in this very bullish trend. Now, it looks like we broke through that, and that could potentially be coming resistance, which may take the price down in the short term. But I'm not a short-term trader. I'm not planning on selling Bitcoin anytime soon. I'm in it for 10 plus years. So it brings us to this thing. Raoul Pal posted this the other day, and this is kind of a response to inflation that's happening, because for the most part, he has IQ score down here on the bottom, and basically for the masses, they don't invest in Bitcoin because, hey, the Fed doesn't actually print money. Only banks can create money, and there's no velocity, and the banks aren't lending. They can't move assets, so it's more Pavlovian than real. There's no correlation between the Fed balance sheet and asset prices, and it's definitely not debasement of the currency. That is crazy talk and bad economics. So people kind of trust the governments. They think that this time of money printing is going to be different than every other time in history of money printing. And while it may, because you can't predict the future, it's less likely that this is different than every other time. You know, it's kind of like when everyone's special, nobody's special. You know, you get it? But we have the smart and the dumb both saying money printer go burr, buy everything. Which brings us to this final point. Guys, ascending channels. Bitcoin's been in a long-term ascending channel. 68% of breaking to the upside. Good luck on being short the hardest asset in history during the greatest period of asset inflation in history. Good luck. While the price may drop, very unlikely. So that's all for today's episode. Now, like I said, today's episode is sponsored by Cirrus Foundation, empowering the ownership economy to unlock your largest digital asset, your data. Now, if we take a look at it, introducing Cirrus. With over 2.5 years of engineering, Cirrus was born, first of its kind hardware device designed to unlock data ownership, connect to the blockchain, and create value. Plug and play, and you can monetize your data. You can unbox and unlock the cryptoverse, your gateway to the digital economy, a simple plug-and-play device enabling you, the owner, to easily access the cryptoverse and generate real value from your daily habits. Your highway to the digital economy. Once connected, the Cirrus network unlocks your unique data asset and enables real value creation through user-generated events, lead captures, ad revenue, node validation, and much, much more. Instead of Google profiting from it, you could profit from it. Generate real-world value with the Cirrus token. Take the value you've generated into DeFi and Web 3.0 apps in the digital economy and move it into the real world using fiat off-ramps. Powered by Polygon, so they're working together with Polygon. You can see their backers right here. We'll be talking about June investments in just a moment. And then you could see the innovators. They have a pretty stacked team you could check out there, and then also advisors worth noting. So let's talk a little bit more. Well, first thing, former Apple CEO Gil Amelio joins Cirrus blockchain project as an advisor. Very strong advisor from a former Apple CEO. Not only that, but Cirrus Foundation adds Seagate co-founder Finnis Connor to its team of industry veterans. Not only that, but one of the investors, June Capital Partners. If we scroll down, we could see down here one of the advisors for June Capital Partners, Vitalik Buterin. So, potentially pretty stacked team we have there. And not only that, but they're building on Polygon for scalable data remittances. The VP of growth for Polygon says Cirrus is one of the most impressive projects being developed on Polygon. With a real use case for blockchain, an operational need for the scaling solutions we provide, we're pleased to see projects like Cirrus coming to light, focusing on mass adoption of blockchain technology and long-term viable solutions. So, as of right now, they already have 4,000 devices deployed. Now, as of right now, it is a little bit early to get your own device. They are working with ISPs right now. You can see right here, you are right here on the project roadmap. The platform is being launched and retail device availability coming a little bit later. Now, about Cirrus, they do want to compare themselves to Helium. You guys know I've talked a lot about Helium on the channel. And if we take a look, the launch date is after helium. The market cap is going to be much lower than helium at the current time. The initial price you can see compared there, current price. And then units deployed, obviously going to be growing over time, max supply. So this is something that they want to be compared with. And it is something right now at 83 cents. You can get it on KuCoin, Uniswap, DeFi Network, QuickSwap, 1inch, and I believe PancakeSwap as well. So guys, that is all for today's episode. Thank you, Cirrus Foundation, for sponsoring the episode. If you did enjoy, make sure to like, subscribe, click the notification bell, and I'll catch you later. Peace.